Good afternoon, everybody. Today I am going to discuss with you the answers for the model question paper. So, we'll start with question number 1. Question number 1. First question: explain the legal price controlling policies which imposed by the government. So, price control policies that you have to mention here, two price control policies that you have to decide based on the marks given allocated for this question. So, for this question, two price control policies that you have to mention. Each price control policy you have to describe, and for the description also marks has been allocated, 2 marks per each price control policy into 2, likewise 4 marks, entire 4 marks that you can earn. So the answers would be minimum price control and maximum price control, and you have to describe it. Second one, you have to work out the following market demand and supply equations are related to the particular goods. Then I will write the QD and QS equations here. 400 minus 15p QS equals 200 plus 5p. Here, first question, part A, calculate the consumer expenditure at market equilibrium. To find that, you have to find market equilibrium price and market equilibrium quantity. Then at equilibrium, QD equals QS, 400 minus 15p equals 200 plus 5p. Then 20p equals 200, p equals 10 rupees. P equals 10 rupees. You can sub in QD equation or QS. QD equals 400 minus 15p. 400 minus 15 into 10, that will be 250 units. Now you can easily find consumer expenditure. Consumer expenditure, the question is asking consumer expenditure at market equilibrium, and you have to take P and Q. Here P into Q will be the consumer expenditure. 10 into 250, then 2500 rupees. If you get that correctly, then mark that. Part B, if the government impose a unit tax as 4 rupees on producers, what is the value of loss of consumer surplus? To do that, what you have to do is, first you have to find consumer surplus before tax and consumer surplus after tax. So here, consumer surplus before tax, and I will find consumer surplus after tax. Consumer surplus before tax, hope you remember the formula. Half into equilibrium quantity here, 250, into maximum price minus equilibrium price. Here you have to find the maximum price. 400 minus 15p, that means when QD equal to 0, how much would be the price? 15p 400 26.6. We'll take 26.7 minus 10. 16.7 into 250 into half. You will get approximately 2083.33. Here, consumer surplus after tax. To find this, you have to find after tax what will be the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. To do that, as workings, you have to find QS1. Hope you remember when taxes introduced or imposed, QS1, only QS1 will get affected. So QS1 is 200 minus 5p minus t. Then 200 minus 5p plus here instead of t I will write the tax amount. Tax will be 4 rupees. $220 minus 5p. Here 200 dot minus 200. $180 plus 5p. Then consumer surplus before tax 2083 plus 33 2083.33. Here now you have to find as workings we got supply after tax, then equilibrium price and quantity after tax. QD equals QS1. QD is same as previous. QS1 is 180 plus 5p. Then I will erase this. 400 minus 180 equals 20p. P equals 11. Q substitute it in QD equation. Now equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price and quantity after tax is, price is 11 rupees, quantity is 235 rupees. Now you have to remember equilibrium price and quantity, price and here equilibrium before tax, after tax. Equilibrium price 10 rupees, equilibrium quantity 250. After tax equilibrium price 11 rupees, equilibrium quantity 235. So theoretically, after imposing tax, equilibrium price should be increased, equilibrium quantity should be reduced. That has happened. Okay. Then you can find consumer surplus. Consumer surplus after tax. Half into equilibrium quantity after tax 235 into maximum price won't change, that is 26.7 minus, now equilibrium price is 11, $1,844.75. That has been reduced. If you got the correct answer, then mark it, or else then redo the question. Okay. Then we have completed second part of the question. Third one, when the government imposes a unit tax on the good which have inelasticity of demand and elastic supply, how does the consumer tax burden and producer tax burden? Explain your answer with diagram. Here you have to explain if the government imposes tax, the government imposes tax on the good which have inelasticity of demand. Inelasticity we can draw like this, which is having steep slope, and elastic supply. Elastic supply start with price axis, and now you can find the tax burden. Tax burden you can find from second equilibrium to the first the previous supply curve. You have to draw this rectangle and divide it with previous equilibrium. Here, tax burden. Hope you can remember this. Tax burden on consumer, tax burden on producer. Then, as conclusion, inelastic demand plus elastic supply situation producer tax burden is lesser than consumer tax burden. That is what you have to mention. Then you have to draw this graph. For this graph, 3 marks will be allocated, and for the description, when there is inelastic demand with elastic supply, then producer tax burden will be lesser than consumer tax burden. That you have to explain by using the diagram, and you have to specify the areas, and for that 2 marks will be allocated. Then altogether 5 marks you can earn. Right. Last question in question number 1. What are the assumptions mentioned to define extension of the demand? For the demand, extension of the demand, the assumptions that you can make for a certain time period, while all other factors except the price of the particular good is being constant. Other factors in the sense, we call it as ceteris paribus in Latin. That means all other factors are remaining constant. They are not affected to the demand, and only the factor that can be mentioned, that is price, only the only price will be changing, either increasing or decreasing. So those two assumptions we can make. First one is other factors should be constant, remain constant, and for the certain time period, specific time period, we are taking this demand into account, and we can describe the question, the answer like that. Two assumptions that you have to mention, and you will be given 5 marks for that.